Hi, it's Elizabeth Sweetwater here and welcome to my sewing room. Today I'm going to make a sleeveless summer dress. I'm using the Racerback crossover pattern and I would like to share how to do this. It's not a difficult dress to make, it only has 4 steps. First step is making the bodice parts. Then I'll be lining the bodice using the burrito method. And then I'm going to attach the skirt and then sew the side seams and the hem. That's all. I've already got my bits cut out. Let's start. So first I will show you all the pieces that you need for the dress, starting with a back piece, a back lining piece. Now if you would use a cotton lycra material, single jersey, then you would probably want to cut the lining and the main fabric in the same quality, but this is a vintage fabric which is quite heavy, so I chose to line it with a lighter fabric inside. This is your front piece, your front lining piece, and we have 2 skirt pieces. Now you may notice that these are quite short. The dress I'm making today will be a mini version of the summer dress. First we're going to start with the darts, and the best way to do that I find is to just cut the dart line open and fold it like this, and then it's easy to mark the dart on your pattern piece. Now you want to mark the dart on the inside of your front piece. You just place a pin on the bottom of the dart and one at the tip of the dart, and then you bring them together like so. Just put one pin here and one pin at the tip. So a really quick way to make a straight dart in an easy way is to first you do a couple of stitches and then you take your thread and you use it as a ruler towards the tip, and then you can sew along this guideline. So after you've sewn your darts, you need to press them. The darts of the lining you need to press towards the middle, and the darts from the outside fabric you need to press towards the side seams. Once you've done that, you need to pin the shoulder seams of both your lining and your outer part. Once you've sewn the shoulder seams and pressed them open, you pin the neck of the lining against the neck of the outside part, right sides together. Once you've sewn all around the neck, make a little clip in the tip of the V. So I have sewn the neckline and pressed open the seam, and also pressed the neck flat. I've also thinned this area on the shoulder over here, so you won't get all the bulk here. So now I've laid the front and the back flat. I will roll it up so we can pin this armhole here. So when you get to this point, like this, and then you pin, oh, not your finger, the shoulder seam, and then you continue to pin the whole armhole. So you pin this way and then you pin the other way. So the first armhole is now sewn. The seam is thinned here like I did here on the shoulder. I will now turn it back inside out. It's a little bit of force. And there it is. This needs a press, and then I will do the other side exactly the same way. So both armholes are done and the neck and armholes are top stitched. So I've done both the armholes, top stitched the armholes and the neck. Okay, so now both armholes are done, and I've also top stitched the armholes and I've top stitched the neck. So this is the whole body's done, so that means we've completed step 1 and 2, and I think it's time for a cup of tea. So now I have pinned both layers of the bodice to the skirt, and I will use my overlocker to stitch both the front and also the back. So the skirt parts are now attached to the bodice. The overlock seam at the front will have to point downwards, and the overlock seam at the back will have to point upwards. So therefore you don't get two seams on top of one another. And what I usually do when I do the side seams, which is the next step, is I sew them first with the sewing machine, and then I will do them with the overlock machine. It looks like we're nearly done. So the side seams are sewn. I finished the bottom with the overlocker, and now I'm going to fold the hem in for 2 centimeters and pin it. I have just sewn the side seams with the overlocker and finished the bottom of the skirt also with the overlocker. Now I will fold over the hem and pin it. I can now sew this with a regular stitch on my sewing machine. So just a few hand stitches under the arm and the dress is finished. So this is the racerback version of the dress I made with the A-line skirt that I've shortened. You can also choose a crossover front or a crossband back or a flared skirt, so there's plenty of options. So that concludes this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I also hope that it helped you making this dress. If you'd like to see more tutorials, or if you have any sewing questions, just let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, of course, and enjoy making.